Preview.
after this wonderful adventurous journey towards the trailer of the game, let's see the table of contents. At first we will discuss about the introductions, at second we will discuss about the maps, at third we will discuss about the characters, at fourth we will discuss about the media and animations, at fifth we will discuss about the conclusions. Without any delay, let's move into the introductions part, in which we talk about the story of the game and the technical softwares that we had used while building Island of Unknown. Moving towards the story of the game, there is the character named Brock, Emily, Sarataki and Ballerina. One day the Brock and his friend Emily make a plan to go for camping. They also took the two friends Sarataki and Ballerina. According to the plan, they went for the campaign. They went for the campsite. They see the campsite and they were enjoying the nature. And at the campsite, the Brock fell into the deep of the forest. Suddenly, his friend Emily and Sarataki call him Brock. Where are you? Come here, we found an abandoned house. Come here. At that time, Brock ran away to their friends to see the abandoned house. In this house, there was nothing except his friends. Now suddenly Sarataki told to see the door if there is written something. Emily started to read the text. If you have fear to unknown, that's not for you. If you like to know the unknown, that's for you. At the moment, Brock told, look, I think someone makes the joke. He touches the door and disappears in the blink of an eye. After that, recognizes him in the another world, the unknown world. He thought that there is no man and there is no creatures around the unknown world. But suddenly, after some time of moving here and there, he found the beast named Urasa, and he afraid. And the Urasa said that, I'm Urasa, don't afraid. This is the world of unknown. It was made by the brave Frank. Brock asks again, what is this place and why I am here? He touched the door and so you touch the door and so you teleport here. Asks again, how can I go back to the home? He told him this place was made by brave Frank. If you want to go to the another world, you need to fight against the brave Frank and win the legendary weapon that cuts the dimension and you can go up to the another world. And also remember, and he told that also remember another thing, if you spend one year in this world, you lose 1 month from your real world. So be careful. Go now. Before defeating the great creations, you need to cross the 7 nations to gain all the power to defeat him. No one sees the Brocks. From today, we are just friends. Friends, call my name. I will appear to help you, said Urasa. Now Brock looked around. There are too many unknown creatures around. He sets his mind and started the journey to find the brave Frank. After 20 years spent in the world, finally he found the Chamber of Great Creations. He entered into the Chamber of Great Creations and he challenges him. After challenging him, he loses 30 times. He loses 30 times in the battles. At the first time, he won the battle and he uses all the powers to defeat him. Finally, he defeats the great creations and gains the legendary weapons. Also, he finds the brave Frank. The man who has found the brave Frank Frank told him how to use the weapon. He used to cut the dimensions and return his home. That's finally the story of the game. So now we will move to the technical softwares that we have used while making the game. The technical softwares like first we had used the Unreal Engine for making the game, Adobe Maximo characters, Epic Game Launcher, and Adobe Premiere Pro and Adobe After Effects for making this game wonderful. Now my friends discuss about the maps and the characters. Let's move on to it.
After this nice introduction, now the parts come to me. My part is the main part for any games, building the lands. So I build the lands for this unknown island game. There is main 3 land, the campsite, the main land or the unknown world, and the boss fight land. This is the special land because the land is for boss. You can see this is the campsite. In this campsite I took 100 into 100 kilometer map to build this island. After that the main land, this is 1000 into 1000 kilometer, island map, and the boss is too much small. Now mesh and custom mesh and design. For the custom mesh and the design, I use these assets from the Unreal Engine's epic game, the marketplace. Because in our real world, everyone wants the reality, and so we choose the real map or real thing and the real texture. To bring the real texture, I use the custom mesh. You can see this custom mesh I have built. After that, the part comes how I put or how I customize the land. To customize the land, I first use landscape material and to make it real. And the pond side is real water. The pond water, its ratio was 1000 into 1080p. This is the ratio for the pond water. And the texture for the tree, to build the texture, custom texture for the tree, because there is the wind flow. For the custom wind flow and the custom atmosphere, we need to see like real. Now the part for the atmospheric sound. For sound effect, FX sound effect, put the sound system to make it real in our campsite. After that, in the mainland, I just build the mainland and put the trees as like in the campsite, but the color texture and the simulation just be little bit different of the trees, because it's an unknown world, no one knows about it. After that, the boss land, the boss land, that it's a special land. Now the texture and the mesh. If you want to build a land in Unreal Engine, you need to get the landscape mode. In landscape mode, by default, every landscape mode there is no color. If you want to input color, you need to paint or need to build a custom mesh. First, the custom mesh for the main island and for the campsite I have made. For the boss, I don't use any custom mesh. I directly use the assets, especially the mountain asset, to build the boss world. Now the asset part, which asset I have used. Every asset I used and from Epic Games marketplace. It's obviously every assets are free in marketplace, because Unreal Engine gives you the access for free asset for the beginners. Thank you. Now I will hand over it to Ibrahim.
Hello and welcome to my part. My characters of this project had passed through different phases. I'm going to summarize these phases for you. But before that, we need to know, in each story there is one main character who is typically the central focus of the story. Who is called the protagonist? Well, that's why my focus was building the main character, Brooke, and the other minor characters, Ballerina, Emily, Sharataki, and some imaginary creatures. With the main character built, my idea is to let the user of this game freely choose the customization of the main character costume and facial look. That's why I decided to make an entire level called the character room, which has widgets displayed on the screen, and by clicking on each selection parts such as pants, jackets, t-shirts, sunglasses, hair and beard, the user will be able to create his own playable character costume and facial look. So with the game assets, what do game assets mean? And how did I get my game assets? Game assets include everything that can go into a game, including 3D models, sound effects, music, characters, objects, environments, vehicles, and even complete projects that can be used by a game engine. For my project, I got my character asset from Epic Games and Maximum Adobe. The reason behind using both Thor, because it has 3D characters for games, films and more. Empowering creativity with animated 3D characters, it brings your projects to life with 3D characters, skeletal rigs and animation, ready to use in films, games, an interactive experience and illustration. It browses a collection of high quality 3D characters. For the customization and the combination of the character and animation, I got every animation asset I needed for every character, such as standing idle, walking, run and jump, which can be found on Epic Games Marketplace and Adobe Maximum website. After I got all of these, using the Unreal Engine animation blend space, I managed to make a customized animation class asset with axis settings that can control the speed and the direction of the whole animation and the asset. With that being said, I moved on to combine the animation and characters together by making a blueprint character class, then choosing the animation mode with the asset I made earlier. So that was my time, but in order for our project to be produced in a very nice and clear way to the audience, that's why multimedia and animation is important. I will leave my fellow friend Subodh to talk about that in the next part.
Thank you, Ibrahim, for the short descriptions in the character part. Now let's jump into the topic of media and animation. First of all, I made a game logo using Adobe Illustrator, then I made animations logo using Adobe Premiere Pro and Adobe After Effects. I shot a cinematic video for the whole game. After that, I just wrapped up the cinematic shots and downloaded the background music for our trailer. I moved on to the sorts of gameplay and creating a sequence that has the meaning for the viewer. In summary, our goal is to publish the game in different platforms such as PC, PlayStations and in mobile phones. Our main aim is to focus on the young generations because we think this game has lots of adventure and action parts. Nextly, the online multiplayer gaming mode for both children and adults alike serves as a common interest and points of conversations which can create the bonds and enhance social skills and which results in the development of both meaningful and casual relationship. In online multiplayer mode, we provide game genre in which player advance through the story of quests for each character to gain experience that improves various attributes and abilities. Lastly, when we release any new patch updates, we will update the fix of certain bugs. With that being said, it will improve the stability and introduce new features to the game. That was our time. Hope you enjoyed watching the video. If you want to hear more from us, please don't forget to like and subscribe the video.